welcome back to Exposed. And if I'm welcoming you back and you like it here, I'd love it if you stayed and subbed. If I'm looking confused, it's because I'm looking at the mic level and it seems to have been really quiet lately and I don't know why. I don't know what the hell's going on. I've even turned it up on here. Anywho, I thought I'd do two because her video is so tiny. And then, short is what I meant. I'm wondering if I should just do that, start at the back and work my way through. What do you think? Anyway, this one, Maggie. I loved her. Who's Maggie? Shall we find out?
Glenda here with Daydreams. You know, I'm
Glenda here with Daydreams. What's that about? Let me have a look at my mic. Hang on a second. So that's the way it always was. Oops. Let's turn that round. I can't see anything that's changed, but for some reason the videos are coming out really, really quiet. Maybe I need to shout. Anyway, Glenda here with Daydreams.
just trying to get started here on this channel and trying to come up with some ideas of how to begin it and what to start talking about. And all I know to do is just start talking about what's on my heart. And I'll get into all the details later, but today I wanted to just talk about Maggie. Maggie was this black lady that used to babysit me when I was about 3 or 4 years old. And the way it came about, Mom and Daddy loved to go what we called juke joints or honky tonks back then. And we lived in a dry county, so there weren't any juke joints in our county, but they could go out on Highway 59 between that ran from Hattiesburg, Mississippi down to Gulfport, Mississippi. And there were a few juke joints on that highway, and one of them was called Toot and Tell It. Where it got that name, I have no idea, but we called it Poot and Smell It. Some crazy ass names. Anyway, they had to hire a babysitter for me and my 2 sisters. I have 2 sisters and a brother, and we're all 4 years apart. So I was about 3 years old, so Bobby would have been 4 and Angie about, I was about 3, so Bobby would have been about 7, and I guess
I was just going to say, I thought you said you were 4 years apart. How can he be 4 if you're 3?
Angie about 11. So anyway, they went and got Maggie. She lived over in the quarters in an old shack, and they would bring...
Really? Did you need to say that? Where Maggie lived is immaterial.
Her to the house, and I remember Maggie sitting there on the sofa, and she would let me crawl up in her lap and hug on her and love her, and oh, I loved Maggie so much. I mean, she was the only person that had ever given me a hug that I can remember. I don't ever remember my mother giving me a hug, and that's a whole nother story. We'll get into all that.
That's probably why you became a narc then. Because it's obvious your mother was one. I don't know any mother that doesn't hug their children. Unless they're a fucking narc.
But anyway, she had big boobs, and I would just, squeeze her and hug her. And
Really? Basically, this poor black woman who lived in a hut used to earn a few pennies babysitting us, and I loved her big titties. Really? Could you not think of something else to say about the woman other than the size of her breasts?
And she would reach down in her bra and take out a handkerchief and unwad it, and she would pull out a quarter from that handkerchief and give me that quarter. And she probably gave one to my sisters too. I don't really remember. And she probably didn't even get paid much more than a few quarters or a dollar or two. But anyway, I just remember how much I loved her, and she would dip snuff. She would have a little tin can, those little round tin cans. I guess it still comes in those. I don't know. But she would take that snuff and put it down, between her gum and her teeth there, and suck on it. And I just remembered it stunk, but I didn't care. I loved her, and I loved the smell of the snuff. I would give anything if I could smell it today. But anyway, I guess Mother got wind of how much I loved Maggie. So then they started making fun of me and saying, "Oh, you're sucking chocolate milk from Maggie's ninnies." And that hurt me so bad. Even today, I can't hardly even talk about it without it hurting me.
Why are you wiping your eyes before there's any tears there? At least wait until your eyes have had a chance to connect with the story you're telling, and you actually blink a few times and there's something there. We know there never will be, because we know you too well, and you're like. But why do they do that? The minute they go, there's nothing there, Glenda.
I knew it was wrong. I was only 3 or 4 years old, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what racism was back then, but I knew that was wrong, and it really hurt me, and I'll just never forget that, how they made those derogatory remarks about her and how much I loved her. But that's my little story about Maggie, so we'll just, I'll get into everything about Mother and Daddy and my childhood in another video.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, well, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Amazing. Isn't it amazing how racism against this poor woman becomes your story of how upset you were? How do you think Maggie felt? Anyway, if you got to the end of this, thank you very much, and I will catch you in the next one.